Okay, pay attention, people. First, I want to point out a few things. Uh, with all things happening, such as making sure people can't vote, uh, taking actions that are clearly criminal actions to make sure you that they can that you can hold your office and keep your office, or elevate elevate your position of power and influence and all that. And this is something that the Republicans have been doing, but it's not just the Republicans. Democrats have been doing it, and I keep on saying this and saying this and saying this. The DNC and the RNC, the DCCC, and all these other Big Tent organizations, they are an organization, but they are a crime organization. The government is a crime organization, whether it's local, state, or federal. They are a crime organization, and how they act and what they do is exactly what mafia does. And if anybody's ever watched a movie or seen a TV show about what the mafia does, you should be able to easily equate what's taking place now to what I'm saying. It's completely and utterly relatable. And if you miss it, it's because you don't want to think for yourself. It's because you want to be told what to do and how to do it. And that is a dictatorship. And that's what you want. You want dictators. Okay? You don't want to be responsible for yourself. Be responsible for your community. Be responsible for your country. That is it. That's what a dictatorship is. And dictators can only rise when you allow it. And that goes for those that want the dictatorship and those of us who do not want to see a dictatorship, because we are allowing it. This whole BS of protesting and making videos and speaking out, going on speeches, it's all BS. Because criminals will not back down once they hold power. It's simply that. What's more dangerous, though, is that the criminal organizations that are called mafia, who do not have legitimacy, whereas corporations and the ultra wealthy have legitimacy. Your Congress, your House representatives, your senators, your governors, your mayors, your selectmen, whatever you want to label them, they have legitimacy, and they are far more dangerous than the organized crime that you hear about on the news and on TV shows and movies, because they have an army, and that army is called law enforcement. That army is called the NSA. That army is called FBI. That army is called CIA. That army is called the DEA, and all those other alphabet soups. That's their army. And their army, when told what to do, will do it no matter how little sense, no matter what the books may say about the law, what the works in the law books say. Even if it states it's against the law. Even if you quote the Constitution. Even if you quote the Bill of Rights. None of that matters. Because the RNC and the DNC have worked as a criminal organization, will do, to make sure that a compliant army will be put in place so that their orders will be followed. No matter how criminal, evil, or whatnot. To demonstrate the point, look at how many people are being arrested at protests for being out there and doing protests. And I'm not talking about these whack jobs that protest covered in body armor and carrying assault rifles. I'm talking about people who are coming out there just in their plain clothes with nothing else but words as weapons and signs. The fact that so many of the other ones, the ones who are actually armed, the ones who are actually dangerous, aren't getting arrested, aren't being harassed, should demonstrate to you what is taking place. A criminal organization turns to what? If all else fails, bribery and everything else fails, they turn to violence, to intimidation. And this is what the government, the quote-unquote government, is doing. So, this whole thing of go vote, that's bullshit. It's BS because the Republicans are blatantly out there showing that they're gonna make sure that they stay in office, no matter what it takes, no matter what laws that are actually on the books that actually state what they're doing is wrong. Kavanaugh being put on Supreme Court, that other idiot that they put on before him, the other criminal that they put on before him, Gorsuch, that's the guy's name. You have to understand. And Kavanaugh and Gorsuch were criminals before they got on the Supreme Court. They were criminals. They're supposed to be judges, but they were doing criminal acts throughout their entire lives. So, we got to stop with the niceties. We got to start calling them out for what they are. Criminals. Abject, unapologetic criminals. And where do criminals belong? They belong in jail or they belong in 6 feet under. That is where they belong. I don't know what else to say. And of course, this video probably will never be seen, so it doesn't really matter.